There are a lot of big movies being made in New England with big budgets and big stars, but there was one particular movie made not too long ago that's making a big impact on a lot of people. It was completed with almost no budget, written by a first-time screenwriter with two lead actors who had never acted before and a cast and production team who volunteered their time and talents to make it all happen. Here is their amazing story. It's not every day that you're handed a script and asked to play the lead role in a movie. For any young actor, it would be a dream come true. But for Peter Johnson of Scituate, it meant even more.
I hate to be emotional, but all you can just think about is just whether or not that I'm going to do this or not. And, I mean, at first it was overwhelming and so forth. So I did it, and, it all paid off. So, I mean, I'm not your average person. Why not?
No, Peter is not your average person. In fact, he's anything but average. With no prior acting experience, Peter took on the challenging role of Jeremy West in The Child King.
I'm taking you to find Santa Claus, because he's going to cross our name off his list.
And he nailed it.
Really?
Get in the car now.
Playing the older brother of Jarrett West, wonderfully portrayed by Will Kellum of Hingham, who loses his faith after the death of their mother.
Nothing's real. Maybe Mom wasn't even real.
Peter's character takes his little brother on a life-changing quest to find Santa Claus.
Where are we going to find him?
That's easy, okay? The North Pole.
And what's as extraordinary as the inspirational tale itself is how it came to be. Written 15 years ago by ATF agent Jeff Kerr after a chance encounter on his way to Waco, Texas.
Waco had just happened, and the team that was there was the team that had pretty much got shot up and beat up. And we were going there to be the first teams to relieve them. We all met at the Tip O'Neill building, which is the building in Boston, the federal building for us. And we were getting ready to ship to go to the airport and fly off, and so they had, a lot of families were scared. And so they brought people into the building to see us all off. One of the agents in the office, Joey Granatino, has a young son, Joey Granatino, who has Down syndrome. And he brought him along, and it was kind of this trusting, loving, just, really full of life child. And so it sort of stuck with me.
It not only stuck with Jeff, it inspired Peter's character. And this unforgettable story would unfold in the midst of this famously tragic event.
There was a ranch that went around or bordered a large part of the compound, Koresh's compound, and so we would get in these Jeeps, and there'd be two to a Jeep. I would sit on the hood of the Jeep during my breaks. I had a little flashlight and I had a little notebook, and I would scratch my story. And so basically over the course of that 30 days, I jotted the story down.
When Jeff returned from Waco, he shared the story with his brother Frank, who also happens to be an award-winning filmmaker.
And I said, I had this idea for a story. Of course, my brother, who's in the business, has been getting ideas pitched to him his entire life. And he's like, oh no, not my brother,
He was hammering on me pretty hard to get this out there. The idea of the story was beautiful. About faith and redemption. It had all great themes. And I liked the parallel with I liked the story within the story. The Child King is actually a book, a bedtime story that the mother used to read them. The story of a king who abandons his own child back in medieval times. I liked that. I liked what he had written.
But with essentially no budget and a long and in-depth script, Frank wasn't sure they could pull it off, so he agreed to a 15-minute short film.
Before we knew it, it was 15 minutes. It turned into a full-length motion picture.
He kept browbeating me until I agreed to go ahead and do this movie. It's a lot of work to direct a picture. It's a year of your life. Then you add the fact that the lead is a boy with Down syndrome, and then it makes it more difficult.
But Frank hadn't met Peter yet.
I'd never worked with anybody with an intellectual disability before, and I didn't know how that was going to work out. But once I met Peter, I said, maybe we can do this, because Peter had such personality, and he really had a sense of self. So I said, let's give it a shot.
Frank, Peter, local actors and celebrities all dedicated their time with no pay to the belief in Jeff's story and to his dream of creating the Child King Foundation to support kids with intellectual disabilities.
His profits are all going to this foundation, so I hope he can raise a lot of money and help a lot of people. It's an important film, and it's an important film for a lot of people on a very personal level.
You stupid?
No, I've got Down syndrome and I'm as smart as you are.
While Peter's character identifies as having Down syndrome, Peter calls it something else.
Up. Up.
Calls it up syndrome. Peter, and justly so, rightly so, he doesn't see himself as having a disability, and his limitations are set on these young people or even elderly people with disabilities are set by us, not by them. And that's what's amazing about Peter. He doesn't see himself as having a disability. He doesn't.
Peter was doing a question and answer, and a girl walked up to him who had Down syndrome, and you could see that this was her hero. If he could do it, I can do it too. It gave her hope.
And while fame is certainly flattering, Peter finds ways to keep it all in perspective.
I'm not George Clooney. I mean, this is not like Barack Obama, or John McCain, or Bill Clinton, Al Gore, or whatnot. I mean, I'm not the president here. Well, I could be.
A third President Johnson? We'll see. As for being a role model, that is something Peter takes very seriously.
I couldn't imagine the responsibility and the opportunity to be here right now. I am a role model, and that's what I said. For it, if it's kids for disabilities or anyone, like my mom.
He was very proud of himself, and he has every reason to be. He said, "Mom, all my life I've been in second place." He said, "But now I'm a winner." So that was the best.
I know how important it was for him, for Peter to do this movie, for himself and for a lot of other people. I can do this.
When you get to do something every day and everybody's feeling so bloody good about themselves, for me it was a dream come true.
I'm proud of my brother. I'm proud of my brother. I'm proud I was able to do this, and I'm proud of the people that were able to help out. And I was proud of Peter Johnson for pulling this off.
Again, all of the proceeds from the sale of the DVD go to the Child King Foundation. Copies are also available through Amazon or through childking.com. Order your copy today. You'll have it in time for Christmas, and you'll be doing a wonderful thing for a lot of people, including yourself and your family, and you get to see a pretty fantastic movie too.